Ladies and gentlemen, and for the benefits of our guests, we move now to the more serious part of the Toastmasters meeting, that of prepared speeches with evaluations that go along with it. But we're very pleased this evening to have what we call a masterclass. Every now and again, every second month or so, we ask one of the more experienced members of our club to get up and do a specific subject education session, if you like. And we're very pleased to have with us this evening doing an aspect of speech presentation entitled Vocal Variety. This is going to be presented by a gentleman who has had some 35 years as a member of the Forum Toastmasters Club. He's a past president of the club. He is a past area governor on 2 occasions. He's a past division governor. And he's also a winner of countless speech competitions at club, area, division, and district level. In fact, he represented District 74, which is Toastmasters Southern Africa, at the International Toastmasters Convention in a place called Reno, Nevada, in the 90s. I can't even remember the year.
86.
And he did very well in that particular competition for us as District 74. He is a retired schoolmaster. In fact, he served 30 years as a teacher and 20 years as a principal. So he's had his time as an educationist in more ways than one. To share with us the value of vocal variety in speech presentation, ladies and gentlemen, would you please help me welcome the competent Toastmaster, Mr. Bowker.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is my opinion that your voice and how you use your voice is the most critical way of getting your message across to your audience. Your voice has 4 aspects. It has volume, it has rate, it has pitch, and it has tone. Let's talk about volume. If you speak too loud, people actually feel that you're being aggressive and they don't enjoy being shouted at, and your message disappears. So the next time you speak more softly. And then you use this sort of volume. And then halfway through the speech you notice that all those people have actually fallen asleep. So it's terribly important that you speak at a volume that, let's ignore the microphone for the moment, that you speak at a volume that everybody can hear comfortably. Then the next one is the rate at which you speak, and they say that you should speak at 120 words a minute. Now, if you don't know how fast you're speaking, take a book of fairly simple language, count 120 words. Look at the clock, and when the big hand gets to 12, read it, but read it out aloud, because speaking it takes longer than reading it. And then speaking it out, and when you get to the 120th word, look up at the clock. If it's exactly 1 minute, you have now got your speaking rate correct. And there are members in this club, and I refer to the newer members, whose rate gets closer to 200 words per minute, and then you lose your audience. And if you speak at 120 words a minute, it gives you time to think. Whereas when you're going very fast, then nobody really has a chance to think. You can't really think of what you're going to say next, and you don't give your audience time to react because you're putting so fast they don't want to listen to what you're going to say next. So you need to slow down. 120 words a minute. Then there's the pitch at which you speak. Now, I'm a male, and I think a fairly normal male. And I can take my voice right down to here. And I can speak at this pitch. But then, depending on what I'm trying to say, I can then raise and increase the pitch until I get to a pitch which is about here. But if after this I can't go any further until I come all the way back. And that's another critical part of your speech. Now, I'm not saying that you must speak at this volume at 120 words a minute at the normal pitch. No, certainly not. Because let's talk about volume. If I speak more quietly and with lower volume, then what I'm saying becomes secretive or romantic. And I remember as a teenager, when there was a pretty girl nearby and I wanted to be her Valentine, I would lower the volume and I would lower the rate, because that's far more romantic. And I would say to her, won't you please be my Valentine? You know, it works. I had so many girls after me. I had learned to lower the volume and lower the speed, because it becomes romantic. And it becomes secretive. Because once I lower the volume, you wonder what I'm saying. You know, Tony, the other day I saw Sam, and he was walking down the street with a woman who wasn't his wife. Oh, I don't believe that. So it also becomes secretive. I lower the volume. But be careful that it's not inaudible, and be careful that it's not threatening. If it's inaudible, you lose your message. But it can also be threatening. You can raise your voice and be very threatening. I can say, Rob, you talk to me like that again, and I'm going to break every bone in your body. And I'm now being threatening, because I've raised the volume, and I'm now threatening him. You notice how nervous he looks? Now, I've talked about rate as well. We change the rate, whether you want to be romantic, threatening, deliberate. But you must be careful that you don't become monotonous or boring and you keep on the same rate all the time, because that actually starts to become terribly monotonous. You also mustn't go so fast, as some new members usually do, because then you become incoherent. I've talked about pitch. Low pitch gives a message of being calm and romantic. Oh, my little baby. Close your little eyes. Daddy said the prayers now. Close your little eyes. Say, thank you, Jesus, for a lovely day. And go to right? Far more convincing for that 6-month-old baby lying in the prayer than to say, you go to bed. So we lower the pitch also because it's calming and it's romantic. And if I want to say that I'm very nervous, then I will raise the pitch and I will say, I'm not going to be allowed to be bullied by one of you traffic officers, because you guys are all corrupt. Right? Because now I'm being threatened. And I want to tell you a story. I want to tell you a story. I'm going to tell you a little story. And I don't want you to listen so much to the story. I want you to listen how I would use my voice in relating the story. I'll start the story now. Last week, pause, I was lying in bed just after midnight. And my wife shook me like that and she said to me, there's something strange happening outside our room. All right, I'll have a look, I said. Then I opened the curtain. You won't believe what I saw. In the huge thorn tree outside my bedroom, are you listening to my voice, not the story? In the huge bedroom outside my, huge tree in the bedroom, outside my bedroom, I looked up in the branches and there was a fully grown male leopard. I said to my wife, there's a leopard in the garden. She said, what are you going to do? I said, I'm going to shoot it. And I went to the cupboard and I took my hunting rifle out of the cupboard and I walked down the passage. And I took my torch and I took my faithful dog. And we walked out towards the thorn tree. Didn't put some body language in as well. The torch under my arm, the rifle in my hand, trying to calm my dog. And then I looked up in the tree and I loaded my rifle. And then I held the torch. And as I shone the torch into the eyes of this leopard, and I saw these great, big, yellow eyes, the leopard didn't appreciate my company. I shot it down, he came and my dog climbed me, woof, 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 and I fired a few more shots. And when it lay there dying, I thought to myself, well, it's another day in my life. I can go back to bed. You notice how I changed the speed. Oh, then I got back inside and my wife said to me, and now what the hell's going on now? I said, oh, I just shot a leopard. And I tell you that story, and I've told the children at schools the same story in youth leadership programs. And they believe me. And I tell them it's on the front page of the Pretoria News. And the next time we meet them for the next youth leadership program, they say they had studied the Pretoria News, but they didn't see the picture of me and the leopard. And then I said, oh no, it was in the late edition, you probably read the early edition. But they actually believed me. So perhaps I convinced somebody. But be careful how you use your voice. Be careful. Go onto the TV and tune in to the racehorses at Turfentine or Newmarket on a Saturday afternoon. And listen to the commentators report on the race. And when that race is over, if you understand or you know one fact that he said in the last 30 seconds, you're a better person than I am. Because they talk so fast, that it's impossible to know who won that race. Right? So be careful that you don't. The biggest enemy is speaking fast. And then there's my old hobby horse with members of the club who know me so well for that. Please open your mouth. Open your mouth and always got in the lot and don't mumble in your lips yet. Open your mouth. And now that I've told you how to do that, how to do a speech, volume, rate, and pitch, I'll ask the Sergeant at Arms to please give you a copy of the notes that I have made on what I've spoken about this evening. And I would ask you to please think very carefully about the volume, the pitch, and the rate at which you speak. You will make a much better impression while you speak, with considering volume, rate, and pitch. Now go back to my own profession, teaching. If you listen to teachers speaking, you will see that they have mastered this, because in front of them they've got 24, 30 little hooligans who don't want to listen, and they have mastered volume, rate, and pitch so that the children do listen. Mr. Toastmaster.